Welcome back to filmmarriott.net for Boys on Film. Today we're not doing a review of a TV show or movie, we are talking about a previous video that we've done, which was for the movie Call Me By Your Name. Quite controversial on this, we seem to have upset people.
Bonus content.
So we kind of have been accused of gay washing of the review that we did for the movie, which was not our intention. We were just expressing our thoughts on the film and how we perceived it.
So we're going to get into it here a bit, I think, today. Yeah. So basically, we've got a few comments on the video, which were a bit shocking to us, saying that we were disregarding the characters as only being gay, that they were actually bisexual. That's the dilemma. So, well, let's just get into it, Phil. Do you think we were gay washing the characters?
Well, that was certainly not my intention. I saw the movie and thought that it was a gay relationship because obviously it was two men in a relationship. Obviously it was something that touched on the relationship with the girls in the movie too. But I don't think that was the focus of the film or the story. I mean, I haven't read the books. It's unfair for me to really say that was gay washing or...
Okay, well, here's my stance, is I've seen the movie 3 times and I've read the book once. It very much feels to me like, obviously, the whole point of the story is the relationship between Elio and Oliver. It is a gay relationship. Yes, both characters have sexual relations with girls, but I feel, especially on Elio's part, that because it happened in the 80s and because he is the age that he is and because he's in Italy, there's a lot of like playing the role. So his whole relationship with Marcia is a bit washed over in the film. It felt very disregarded, especially after Elio and Oliver get together and Elio ignores her for 3 days and she's like, "Am I not your girl?" And he kind of just like, "Well, no, I'm sorry." And in the end they agree to be just friends, which is very typical of what happens with gay relationships when you're younger.
Yeah, because you experiment.
Yeah, I mean, because I had a girlfriend when I was younger too. It doesn't mean, I was bisexual. Just because you have sexual relationships with a girl, it doesn't mean you're bisexual. But I think the comments were really accusatory because I could tell by the commenters, sort of their tone, that we were definitely disregarding the fact that these characters were bisexual. And I have to wholeheartedly disagree that I don't think the characters are bisexual. I think inside, I think the characters are gay.
But it's how you perceive it, isn't it? Because if you read the book and it's not clearly stated as bisexual characters, that's how you would perceive it. And I guess as gay men, that's how we perceive it, because that's how we would connect with those characters, because we see a likeness to our experiences when we were younger.
Yeah.
It's like you say, when you're growing up and you do have relationships with girls because you are experimenting. It's something that you think you're meant to do because society says you're meant to, as a man, you're meant to have a relationship with a woman.
But what I think it boils down to is, what is the story? What is the story about? The story is about 2 men who fall in love with each other. Yes, both have experimented. Yes, Oliver has a wife and children. Yes, the father has thought about being gay as well. So to me, it does feel sort of like a gay story to me. Now, I guess people, if you read the book and you watch the movie and you feel that like Elio's relationship with Marcia is super significant, I didn't feel it was. I never felt that was a big part of the book. It just felt to me like Elio was doing what he was supposed to be doing for young boys at that age. But I have to ask myself the question, is there enough bisexual representation in the film? Because I think really, Phil, the only film that we saw which had any bisexual tones this year was I Love You Both at the Flare Film Festival. So I thought it was going to be a really cool story about bisexuality and love triangles and that sort of thing. And I was left a little deflated after seeing that. I was like, that's not really a good representation of bisexual people. It had more to do with the twins who are gay and straight than being about them falling in love with a bisexual. So I could kind of maybe understand our commenter's point about don't gay wash it, because they're really struggling hard with maybe representation of bisexuals in film, because with transgender people you have a lot of films, a lot of documentaries. It's very hot in the news right now. So I think transgender people, I think the spotlight is being put on them. I think we still kind of, not shine a big enough spotlight on, bisexual representation in film.
I have to say, when we did the review of Call Me By Your Name, I did say at one point, yes, admittedly, I said that Armie Hammer's character is a gay character. Perhaps I shouldn't have called him a gay character, because it's still not known whether he's gay or bisexual, because it's not really that clear unless you've read the book, which I haven't.
No, I'm just saying, well, he's doing a lot of gay things.
He is. I did say that it was a love story. Maybe it should just be called a love story regardless of whether they're gay or bisexual.
I think that at its essence, that's what Call Me By Your Name is. It's a beautiful love story between two men. Labels aside, that's what it is. It's just a beautiful movie that I think is going to get a lot of recognition at the Oscars this year. And that's what you should go into it as, without any sort of expectation of it. Oh my God, it's about two bisexual men, and it has to be about two bisexual men.
Absolutely. But then I guess on the flip side, it should be important to call it a bisexual movie because of that problem that we mentioned before, where it's not represented.
Well, Sony too got a bit of backlash because they put out, I think it was a tweet that promoted the film as, obviously a love story, but it showed a picture of Elio and Marcia, who, Marcia doesn't get much screen time in the movie, so maybe it's
an important part of the story, I guess.
It's an important part, definitely a key to good storytelling of this movie. But then, are they straight-washing it by marketing that as like what the story is supposed to be about? All this gay-washing, straight-washing, I think it's a bit nonsense. I think it's just, we shouldn't have labels anymore, because I think it's labels, it's what really is dividing our own community these days.
I would agree. I can see the problem. I can understand why people are objecting against it, but at the end of the day, it's an aspect of the film that you could promote as much as any other aspect of the film.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't actually suggest that clip is representation of the whole film, because it's not, because the whole story is a varied, complex story, isn't it? Life is complex, isn't it?
This film is about the journey of two individuals who are at the center of the story, falling in love. I think that's all you need to know about the film. If you're going into it wishing it's going to be the bisexual love story of the century, I think you're going to be disappointed. I can't really see anyone as saying this film is the bisexual love story of the century.
But isn't that what a film or a book should do? It should make you question things. I don't think a story should be obvious. It should be about life, which obviously is what it is. It's a life story as well as a love story.
But then too, if people are making the argument that Call Me By Your Name is a bisexual movie, my question to you is Brokeback Mountain a bisexual love story? Because in that movie, it was very much about two men who had relationships with women, who were married to women, who had children with women, but it focused around two individuals falling in love. So, in the same sort of logic, is Brokeback Mountain a bisexual love story? Yeah. Having, read the little teeny book that it is, I don't think it is either.
Yeah, it is definitely food for thought. I'm going to say it's a love story.
And the only point I want to make with this whole straight washing, gay washing thing is it is just a love story. And once we get over all these labels, I think as a community as a whole, it's just going to unify us a bit more. Yeah. We still got a lot of work to do, but let's not accuse other people of doing things that we're not doing, really. Yeah. We want you to enjoy the film. Yeah. Get out of it what you need to get out of it. It is a beautiful film regardless. Just go see it.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to get many comments on this video down below? I'm thinking this could be, it could open a can of worms, potentially.
It is very debatable. It's a debatable subject, and there are a lot of people out there who have lots of opinions about this. But this is just our opinion. If you disagree with us, feel free to let us know. Yeah. It's interesting to have this conversation, and I think it is an important conversation. And I think there's never going to be enough representation of everybody, but I think as a society, we're getting closer to that. It's taken a while. It's taken a while. I think everyone needs to be represented, but I will say that bisexuals aren't represented enough in film.
I'd agree. We mean well, don't we?
Yeah.
In our efforts to review movies. Don't forget to like us and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll be back for more TV and movie reviews for Boys on Film soon.